All right, let's talk about one of the biggest, most game-changing books in personal finance, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. We're gonna break down the core ideas right here, right now.
So let's just get right to the heart of it with the one question this book forces you to answer. And be honest with yourself. Are you working for your money, or is your money working for you? Think about that for a second, because how you answer that changes absolutely everything.
See, the whole book is framed around this really powerful story of two different father figures, and they couldn't be more different in how they thought about money. It really comes down to this: two dads, two mindsets.
And here's where you see that clash play out. On one side, you've got Poor Dad. He's the traditional guy, super educated, believes in job security, a steady paycheck, and he avoids risk like the plague. But then you have Rich Dad. He's the entrepreneur. He's all about financial freedom, taking smart, calculated risks, and the big one, making his money work for him. It's a total clash of philosophies.
Okay, so if you want to start thinking like Rich Dad, where do you even begin? Well, it all boils down to one single golden rule. This is the bedrock of everything. You have to know the difference between assets and liabilities.
And look, the definition of an asset, it's so simple. An asset is anything that puts money in your pocket, period. That's it. It's simple, but man, is it powerful. This is absolutely key.
And you guessed it, the opposite is just as simple. A liability, that's anything that takes money out of your pocket. Getting this distinction right, honestly, it might be the single most important financial lesson you'll ever learn.
Okay, let's make this real. Look at where your money goes. In the assets column, you've got things like stocks, real estate that pays you rent, maybe a side business, stuff that generates income. But then look at the liabilities column. That expensive car that's losing value every day, the newest smartphone, that credit card debt with the crazy high interest, all of that is just draining your cash. And here's the secret. The rich spend their lives buying assets. The poor and middle class, they spend their lives buying liabilities they think are assets.
But, just knowing the difference isn't enough. It's not just about the math. It's about a total shift in how you see the world. You really have to learn to think like the rich.
And a huge part of that is this idea: work to learn. Don't just work to earn. Forget just chasing the biggest paycheck for a minute. The real goal should be to find jobs that teach you critical skills. We're talking about sales, investing, accounting, entrepreneurship, leadership. These are the tools you're going to use to build that asset column for the rest of your life. And this quote, this is probably the biggest mental switch you can make. When you say, "I can't afford it," what happens? Your brain just shuts down. It's a dead end. Game over. But if you ask, "How can I afford it?" well, now your brain has a problem to solve. It gets creative. It starts looking for solutions. It turns a wall into a door.
All right, so we've talked a lot about the mindset, the philosophy, but that's all just theory, right? So how do you actually do this stuff? Let's get into your Rich Dad action plan.
Here it is, a simple roadmap. Step 1, build your financial literacy. You gotta learn the language of money. Read, listen, learn. Step 2, you need to know where your money is going. Track your cash flow, every dollar. Step 3 is a big one. Pay yourself first. That means you buy assets before you pay your bills or buy fun stuff. 4, you don't need to be rich to start. Start small, buy a small asset, and then reinvest the profits. Let it snowball. And finally, number 5, never ever stop learning and developing new skills. So as we start to bring this all home, you can see that all these definitions, these steps, they're all pointing towards one big overarching idea. It's what we could call the final mindset shift. Because here's the ultimate takeaway, the most important thing to get. True wealth, it's not the amount of money in your bank. That's just the result. The real wealth, the source of it all, is a mindset. It's about completely rewiring how you think about money, how you think about risk, and what you believe you're capable of.
So there you have it. That's the core framework of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. The ideas are on the table. And now, really, there's only one question left that matters. What is the first asset that you are going to build?